Everybody is talking about generative AI. It's going to change the world, it's going to change our jobs. But let's get real for a second. Beyond all the hype, what's really happening? How are people actually using this stuff day to day? Is it a partner? Is it a replacement? To figure that out, we got to stop speculating and start looking at the real evidence.
So we're going to cut right through all the noise. For this explainer, we're basically going to become digital detectives. Our whole mission is to follow the clues and uncover the real story of how AI is impacting the workforce, based on what people are actually doing with it. No guesses, just data.
And our main source for these clues? It's a massive new study from researchers at Microsoft. They've done the hard work, sifting through a literal mountain of real-world interactions to try and understand this new frontier of work.
And when I say a mountain of evidence, I am not kidding. We are talking about 200,000 anonymized conversations with Microsoft Copilot. Think of these as our field notes, a super rare behind-the-scenes look at how AI is really being put to work.
Okay, so the first big breakthrough in this whole investigation, it came down to a really simple but honestly powerful idea. See, to really get what AI is doing to our jobs, you have to separate what the human wants to accomplish from what the AI actually does to help get them there. So check this out. This is the key discovery. What you, the user, want to achieve, your goal, is often totally different from the action the AI takes. So for example, your goal might be something simple like, I need to operate this piece of office equipment. The AI doesn't do that for you. Instead, its action is to train you. It coaches you, gives you instructions. See that? It's one human goal met by a totally different kind of AI action.
And this quote from the researchers really just nails the pattern they found. While we humans are focused on getting information, reading and researching, the AI is stepping into this other role. It's acting like a coach, an advisor, a teacher.
So, just how big of a deal is this split between what we want and what the AI does? Well, it is huge. In a full 40% of the conversations they analyzed, the user's goal and the AI's action were completely different types of activities. This isn't just some little quirk. It's a fundamental piece of how we're working with AI.
Okay, so we figured out the type of help AI is providing. It's a coach, an advisor. But that's only half the story, right? The next big step for these researchers was crucial. How do you connect these little chat interactions to actual real-world jobs? They had to bridge that gap. To do that, they turned to something called the ONETS database. And you can think of this thing as a super detailed DNA map for basically every job in the US. It breaks down any occupation, from a historian to a tire repairer, into all its core work activities. So by matching the stuff happening in the Copilot chats to this database, they could finally see which professions AI was really touching. And this is how they created this really clever metric they call the AI applicability score. It's built on 3 key questions. First, how often does a certain work activity even pop up in a chat? Second, did the AI actually succeed in helping with it? And third, what was the scope? Like, did the AI help with just a tiny piece of the task, or did it cover a big chunk? All right, the detective work is done, the data has been crunched, and now we're at the big reveal. Using that AI applicability score, we can now see a ranked list of the jobs that are most and least impacted by what generative AI can do today. So who's at the very top of the list? Number 1, with a score of 0.49, interpreters and translators. And you start to see a pattern here, right? Historians, passenger attendants, sales reps, writers. What do they all have in common? They're all super reliant on communication, on pulling information together, basically on knowledge work. Now, let's flip the script. What about the jobs at the bottom of the list, the ones with the lowest applicability? Well, it's a completely different world. Phlebotomists, nursing assistants, tire repairers, these are all jobs that require physical, hands-on interaction with people or with equipment. It's stuff a language model just can't do.
And this isn't just about individual jobs. If we zoom out and look at whole categories of work, the trend is crystal clear. The top 3 most affected job families: sales,
computer and mathematical fields, and office and admin support. These are huge parts of the economy, all built around knowledge and communication.
So why? Why are these knowledge-heavy jobs so high on the list? Well, it all circles back to that first clue we found. AI's biggest impact is when it acts as a service provider, like a coach or an advisor that can go get information and explain it to you. It's not automating the salesperson's job, it's augmenting it, freeing them up to focus on other things. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff. But here's the real question, right? What does this actually mean for our paychecks, for our career paths, for the future? Let's dig into the final part of our investigation, the so what of it all. You know, there's this idea floating around that AI is coming for the high-paying knowledge worker jobs. But is that what the data actually says? Does a bigger paycheck mean a bigger AI impact? Well, get ready for another plot twist in our investigation. The researchers found, get this, only a very weak connection. The data shows that just because you have a high salary, it doesn't automatically mean your job has a high AI applicability score. The impact is spread way more widely across the wage spectrum than a lot of people thought. What does seem to be a better indicator, though, is education level. We can see pretty clearly that jobs that typically need a bachelor's degree have a higher average AI applicability score than those that don't. It just reinforces that idea that AI's sweet spot right now is helping with knowledge-based tasks. So, let's wrap up our investigation. What are the key takeaways from the case file? The evidence is pretty clear. AI isn't here to automate whole jobs. It's here to augment specific activities inside those jobs, especially in knowledge work. It's showing up as a coach or an assistant. And it's really important to remember that even when it helps, it rarely, if ever, covers 100% of a task. The human is still in the driver's seat. So in the end, all this data, it tells us we've maybe been asking the wrong question all along. The real question isn't, is AI going to take my job? It's, how is AI going to partner with me? And how is that partnership going to completely rewrite my job description in the years to come?